Hi, Markia here from County Line Adventures. We are going to make the Philly Cheesesteak Egg Rolls that everybody seemed to really like on our Facebook page. But before I go any farther, go ahead and click the like and subscribe button. We need some followers. You're going to love this. I'm going to tell you my ingredients first. I use about 1.5 pounds of rare roast beef deli meat, 1 green pepper, 1 onion, some cheese slices. We prefer white American, but a lot of people like provolone in their Philly cheesesteaks. And egg roll wrappers, and some butter, and some oil for frying. So, I'm going to come over here. We're going to go ahead and dice up our pepper and our onion. I like to dice them fairly small because these egg roll wrappers are not huge, which you'll see those and how I wrap those up later on. And I don't worry about some of my seeds in my egg rolls or in anything with my peppers. We like peppers. So I don't leave them in big strips like this because it's really, really hard to wrap them even after they're cooked. See, I dice them up pretty small, I feel like. Because if I was putting them on a salad, I'd do them much bigger chunks. Oh, and we forgot to turn our skillet on. I'm going to go ahead and melt my 2 tablespoons of butter in my skillet over here, over about medium heat. Melts pretty quick. You could leave your onion a little bigger if you wanted to dice your pieces of that a little bigger, but again, I keep my stuff diced pretty small. Because I like this stuff to cook pretty quickly in my pan. Because after I soften all my veggies in here, I add in my rare roast beef deli meat just to kind of heat it through just a tad. You don't want to overcook it. If you do not buy the rare meat, it will overcook when you heat it with this and in your egg rolls. It'll get too hot and your meat will be tough, and nobody wants tough meat. Made it through cutting this onion without my eyeballs watering. Look at that. Nobody wants to eat onion skin. Flea. Alright. Let's see if my butter is melted yet. Almost. Let me turn it up. And then that will just go ahead and start to cook. My deli meat is what I'm going to chop up just a little bit, just so it's not in big slices. That'll start to saute in just a minute. When I get my deli meat, I ask for it almost shaved, because as you can see, it's really fallen apart, and that's really what you want. But like the big ends, I chop that up just a tad more. Just roughly chop it up. And I've usually seen my deli meat a little more red and rare than this, but this is fine. And this is just a little over a pound. Okay, my veggies are cooking. Look over here. Yep, they're going. I cook with heart, so I'm going to throw a little bit of pepper in. I grind a little pepper. I'm not going to throw any salt in because I feel like the beef is salty enough. They don't need salt. Ooh, made it through the other part without my eyes watering. Watering now. My onions are cooking. Okay, our onions and peppers are pretty much done. I wait for them to get translucent, maybe just a little bit brown, but y'all know how to saute onions and peppers. So now I'm just going to add in my meat here because I want this just to barely get done. It can even still be a little pink. As I add this in, toss it around with my veggies in there. And I didn't even think to mention this. You could also add mushrooms if you like mushrooms in your Philly cheesesteak. We do like mushrooms. I just didn't think to buy them this time to add in. Just going to toss it around a little bit. I add usually a little bit of onion powder in. See, some of the spots of my meat are starting to turn a little bit brown. You don't want to overcook your meat. That's why you always want to buy the rare. You can use steak. You can slice up your steak and use actual steak of some type as well, but I try to cook quick meals that I can just run to the grocery store, grab a couple ingredients, and have dinner done. This is one of my longer ones though, because now this is almost cooked through. It's not dark brown, it's just light brown. So the next step is spreading this all out on a tray, a platter, something. You probably don't want to leave it in your skillet. It's going to be too hot. And let this cool, because if you don't let this cool and you go ahead and wrap it right now, your wrappers are going to bust when you put them into the oil. Ask me how I know that. Yep, it's happened, and your dinner's a riot, let me tell you. You're eating soggy, nasty, whatever. Okay, see, my meat is all pretty much brown. I got a couple pink spots in there, but it doesn't matter because this was lunch meat. It was safe to eat. It's been heated safely. So, let's put it on the platter. And I spread it out as much as I can. And then I'm going to let this sit for about 20-30 minutes. You can see the steam coming off of it. It's very, very hot to the touch. You do not want to wrap them at this point. So we'll see you guys back here in about 30 minutes, and I'm going to show you how I wrap them and how I deep fry them. Okay, we're back. Our filling has cooled down completely, and I've already started wrapping some, but now I'm going to show you how to wrap them. And Amira has joined us for wrapping this time. She's never wrapped them, and she wants to learn how. Here are your wraps. I get mine at Food Lion in the produce section towards the, usually towards some of the organic stuff. They're going to be down on the bottom. They're very thin sheets of like dough. So what I do is I lay them out, and I put a piece of cheese, and I lay about 2 tablespoons of filling on, and then I use a glue to seal them shut. Now this is something that my mom uses. The back of the package says to use like an egg wash to seal them, but my mom made egg rolls as a kid, and when I was a kid, and she used flour and water. It's about 1/3 of a cup of flour and water until you get this pasty old school glue paste consistency. So here is what I do. Come in a little closer so you can see. I take a little bit of my finger and I flap it on the edge. I take a corner and I fold it over, paste it down, and then flatten it. Now the triangle's in, almost like an envelope. Put it on both edges, fold it in, and you want to do it nice and tight, but not too tight. You don't want to rip your wrapper. And I do these edges up here, again, just like an envelope, and I tuck and roll. Roll, roll, roll. Now, it's wrapped, but not done. See these holes here? When I put that in the grease, stuff's gonna come out. So I take a little bit more on the edge and seal that down on both ends, so none is to escape in the oil. Especially with the cheese being in these, this will be a mess. It will not fry properly, everything will explode. So that's how we've done that. Now, Amir, you wanna give it a go? Put your finger in. Right here. Oh, you're gonna need more than that. Get in there. Let me put some on there. Now, what did I do next? What did I do next? Yep. Good. A little more. Back in here. Good. Make sure it's stuck. Here, tuck your filling in a little bit. In here. On the edges. Because this is just like glue. Or almost like finger paint now. Now put your edge in. Nope, like this. Fold it like that. Yep. Lift it up. Tight, 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 tight. Nope, we gotta do it nice and tight. See? All the way over. Nice and tight. Okay, now do the same thing on this edge. Get more. Okay, now fold it in. Nice and tight. Tight, 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 tight. Oh, 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 oh. Straight, straight, straight. There we go. Okay, now we're gonna put glue all along the edge here. Okay? Get in there. It's okay. It's kind of a messy, it's a messy job, but it's a fun one. Now, you're going to roll it. Can you roll it? Good job. Now we got to, remember we got to do on our edges? Stick your finger down in there. You got enough paste on it already. Squish it down. Same thing on this side. Stick your finger in there. Get the paste off. Okay, that's good. And squish it down.
Egg roll.
There we go. Egg roll wrapped by Amira. Okay, we're about ready to fry them now. I put about 1 inch of canola oil in my cast iron skillet and just wait for it to heat up. I don't temperature it. So we're gonna go and put the first one in. I cook them for about 2 to 3 minutes. And I don't do more than 3 in the skillet at a time. Oh, my oil might be a little bit hot. And I cook them till they're just golden brown. I don't cook them real long. So you can see how they're browning up pretty quickly here. I think my oil's really hot. And at the same time, while they're in here, the cheese inside is now getting all melty. Oh, if you look closely here, you can see there might have been a little crack in that one. See, some of my cheese is coming out. And that's what you don't want. That makes a mess in your oil. But I guess that wrapper might have had a little pinhole. See how they're golden? It does not take but a minute to get back and taste up. Yep, see, and that is because the cheese is leaking out of that one. That's why it's spitting like a crazy thing there. And that was about 2 minutes on them. They're golden brown on each side. So out they come. They're actually a little darker than I usually make them. I'm going to wait a few minutes before I put the rest in. I'm going to let my grease cool just a little bit. I think it might be a little bit hot. All right, we're just about done. We're frying our last couple here. And I've got some taste testers here. You going to try them, guys? Take a big bite. What do you think?
Good.
Good. So,
Make sure you like and subscribe.
what she said, like and subscribe.